The girl had a large pimple on her face. It hurt slightly, and she started crying. She decided to squeeze it out. Bit by bit, she pressed on. The pimple turned red from her efforts. No sign of it clearing. But she refused to give up. "I'm going to get this out," she said. She stomped her foot in frustration. Enduring the pain, she pressed harder. Suddenly, she noticed something inside the pimple. A second later, a hair emerged. The girl was stunned. How is a hair growing from a pimple? She touched it to check if it was real. It was. Not stopping there, she decided to pull it out. As she tugged at it, the hair began to move. It wasn't a hair. It was a spider. Suddenly, countless tiny spiders burst out. They quickly swarmed all over her body. When her friends came to check, the bathroom was filled with spiders. The girl was trapped and panicking. One boy rushed to help her. He tried brushing the spiders away. Another grabbed a bucket of mop water. They poured it over her. She was saved. If her friends hadn't acted quickly, she might have fainted from fear. It turned out they were exploring a haunted castle. But they didn't know the house was cursed. A boy played hide and seek with them. He proudly hid where they couldn't find him. When he opened a closet, he discovered the decrepit room transformed into a lavish one. An old woman was sitting on the bed. She turned her gaze toward the boy. Terrified, the boy quickly shut the cabinet. When he finally stepped out, the room was back to its shabby state. He felt an ominous chill. He told his friends they needed to leave. Meanwhile, the girl found a mysterious book of death. The boy urged her to put it back, but she slipped it into her bag instead. She began reading it as soon as she got home. Strangely, only the beginning had text. The rest were blank pages. Suddenly, a friend's name appeared on one of the blank pages. Touching it, she found it was wet. She assumed the book could write on its own. Unaware it was the work of a ghost. The name in the book was of a boy. A sign of impending misfortune. The girl began to read the story aloud. It felt like a curse directed at the boy. He wandered out as usual, near a scarecrow. He cursed and kicked it in anger. The boy had always hated the scarecrow. It irritated him every time he saw it. But this time, the scarecrow fought back. On his way home, he realized he was back at the scarecrow's location. It stood there, smiling at him. The boy thought he was disoriented. So he tried heading home again. But he found himself back. This time, the scarecrow was gone. Fear began to grip him. He started running. Suddenly, the scarecrow appeared in front of him. It lurched forward with jerky movements. The boy ran for his life. He tripped over an iron fork. He tried to attack the straw with the iron fork. But the scarecrow grabbed it instantly. The fork pierced deep into the boy's waist. Weeds began to emerge from the spot where it was stabbed. Soon, weeds spread all over his body. Finally, the boy was completely swallowed by the weeds. Several people noticed that their friend had disappeared. The girl, due to the book, came to the cornfield to investigate. There, she found the scarecrow was wearing her friend's clothes. The girl concluded that the scarecrow was actually their missing friend. And the boy next to her was also in danger. After realizing the horrors hidden in the book, she returned it to the castle. However, when she got home, the book appeared again, on its own. It opened and began writing on its pages. This time, the name written on it was of the boy. No matter how much she tried to tear the pages, the book kept writing. It wrote about the boy eating at that very moment. The friend called, telling him not to eat anything. But the boy wouldn't listen. It didn't feel right to eat the food all at once. When he looked at it, he found a toe. Terrified, he knocked over the pot. Suddenly, there were noses and eyes in the dish. Then a dark figure appeared and took his toe. Panicking, the boy ran to his room. He locked the door. But soon, he saw a tall, thin figure walking toward him. The boy tried to escape by jumping out of the window. But it was too late. He quickly hid under the bed. A moment later, the door opened. But there was no sign of the figure. The boy cautiously crawled out. He looked under the bed, but it was empty. Suddenly, the boy was dragged under the bed. He was dragged into an endless void of darkness. When his two friends arrived, they couldn't find any trace of him. They lifted the bed and saw deep scratches etched into the floor. The girl turned to her friend. "This all happened because you didn't just read the Book of the Dead. The book is reading us." Realizing the danger, they decided to burn the book. But to their shock, the book wouldn't burn. Its pages continued to write themselves. This time, it named the girl with acne. She was swarmed by spiders and rushed to the hospital. Next, it was the boy's turn. He had been having nightmares, where a chubby, pale figure followed him in a hallway. This time, the figure stepped out of his dreams into reality. Panicking, the boy turned and ran. But no matter where he turned, the figure always blocked his path. It kept appearing, cutting off every escape. Soon, the pale figure came at him from all directions. The boy was surrounded. The figure finally embraced him and slowly absorbed him into its body. Just like the others who were dragged into darkness, he vanished without a trace. When his friends arrived, he was already gone, leaving behind yet another chapter. In this horrifying story,